Hi everybody, this is Susie and welcome to a Vintage Design Studio today. I'm here to share with you my June design team project for Shabby a Chic Boutique, a Facebook store. And I'm really excited because I decided to go a different route and go out of my normal creams and beiges and weddings and Marie. And I really needed to make a small gift which is for a baby. So I thought that I would share this with you and incorporate it into my DT project. So here's what I made. This is actually for show, okay? About 2 years ago, I bought these. I think they were 50 cents or $1 in an outdoor flea market, not too far from where I live. You know, these people were moving and they put stuff in front of the house. Anyway, I was looking for something about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I came across these shoes and found them in a big box with a whole bunch of other stuff that's been that the room ate. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do something with this. So I should have taken a photograph or videotaped it what they looked like beforehand. The shoes are a very, very soft leather. As you can see, even in here, you can see the suede inside the shoe. They must have been a very nice shoe for a little girl who probably wore them once or twice. They were very dirty and they were white. But when I saw them, I knew they had some kind of potential for a project. So what I did was I took some pink paint and I painted the shoe all pink. And you can see that as I get a little bit closer here to show you that I painted the shoe because I wanted the base of it to be pink. I didn't want it to stand out and have the pink lace over it look not right with the dirty shoe underneath it. So I painted the shoe about 4 or 5 times, and the paint that I used was this ceramic coat. It is 02565. It's a very nice, it's one of my favorite pinks to use when I'm painting. So I used that, and then I used from Amy's store this really gorgeous lace. I used all of it. I don't have any more left to show you, it on a long piece of it. And usually when I do my Marie Antoinette shoes, I gather a piece of fabric on the back of the shoe and sometimes on the front. And if you've seen my designs in the past, you'll know that I'm always making some type of a fan from the fabric for the back of my paper shoes or any other type of shoe design that I would do. And there's the fan, and I normally have the fan in the front as well. Instead of doing it this time, I decided to switch it around the other way. And I showed you the Marie shoe because I wanted you to see that I kind of really like to do shoes that way with the fan of the fabric. And that was a piece left over, and you're able to see how it looks exactly. So there it is. And you can see I just have some paper stuffed in there because it's really for show, and it's not, as if I was to, I actually wanted to stuff it and use it as a pin cushion, but I already have so many pin cushions here, and I decided to give this to somebody. Actually, I don't really know if I'm going to give it like as a gift, even though I said they have a baby store, and I think that they're going to use this as a photo prop in the window. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens from there. In the meantime, I took some marabou boa of mine from my stash, and I put it in there. And then I made, if you can see ever so slightly, a pink netted bow with some seam binding and a little wild orchid craft flower in there with some stranded pearls and one of Amy's pear-shaped rhinestones in the center, with some really pretty braided trim here. I had this trim in my stash, but Amy has almost identical trim to this. It is the Chinese braid, and it's beautiful. I just didn't have any more from my previous project and used some of mine. But it really is a beautiful, beautiful pink lace. There's no two ways about it that if you're into pink, this is definitely a lace that you should try out. So with that said, incorporating that into the set, I decided to make something else to go along with the shoe, which I thought was really pretty. And before I get in there, I just want to take out, I have something underneath my fabric here to raise up whatever I'm showcasing. I just wanted to, oops, sorry about that, hit the tripod. So now what I had done is I created this really sweet little book. It's actually, you can buy any of these books in your local pharmacy for like $1.99 or $1.50. They're the little small little composition books. It's not tiny, but you can put this in your purse. And I decided to use some of the lace that I had received also from Amy, which I absolutely adore, and it's so beautiful. This was the lace that I used. Just love that. It's very girly, very vintage-like and sheer and just so pretty that I didn't want to hoard it, but I didn't want to use it like on a very large project. It's very soft and it's so nice to work with. So I decided that I would go ahead and make this book. So I put a piece of manila cardstock in front, behind the lace, because I wanted to cover that swirl of marble black or green, whatever it was, background. I put that over it, and then I put the lace on top of it. I just glued it down, and I used the really pretty flatback pearl that Amy had sent me, which I've used once before, but I've always loved working with the flatback pearls because they really do give a very nice accent to any project that you're making. So the pink that she has in her store matches so nicely with all of the pinks. It's just, like I said, it really works great. And I use the white, which is a little bit larger. I also put in one of these little keys that I had from my stash. I think it's a Prima key. I'm not really sure. And then I thought that I would make this really pretty handmade silk flower. It's so pretty. It's all gathered. And then I wanted to incorporate to the book one of those flowers that comes from Amy's shop into the cover of the book. I'm just looking for one. I know I have two of them. I'm looking for the other one so that I could show to you, which my desk probably ate it. It must be underneath this mess that's here. At any rate, the flower looks the way that you see it, but what I did was I kind of squeezed the flower somewhat with the hot glue underneath it to just give it kind of a, to squash it a little bit more, and I kind of like pressed it underneath my flower, so when I glued it, I kind of glued them together and then adhered it on down to this and to the book. And then like on the side here, I wanted to give it just a little bit more dimension, not just have a straight line, you know, with the lace. I didn't get really crazy about making it even. I wanted it to be off just a little bit. And I had gotten one of these. It's one set. They were connected. I cut them. It's the really pretty bow tie with the organza flower and little pearl, and I put that on the other side, so they kind of like one on each side. And then I just tied in some, as a closure, some seam binding in pink, which really matched the lace so nicely, and everything really coordinated very pretty. I only used one row of pearls on the back because we can't forget that we need to write in these things, and if you make it very full on the back, when you go to put the book down, it's kind of tough to write, and you need to write on one side of the page. So with that said, I thought that I'm always in this thing, I like making sets sometimes for things to, just coordinate together and match nicely. So I thought that I would go ahead and use something that Amy had given to me. She put some, I don't know if at the time if it was some gems or fabrics or whatever it may have been, beading at the time, in one of these little muslin manila bags with the drawstring. And I thought that I would go ahead and add this gorgeous lace. You have to get some of it. I would add that onto the top and all around the bag, having the scallop at the bottom to make it look so elegant and so girly and so pretty. And this lace I received in my May package, and I had to use it because it was pink. And I hand gathered that with a needle and thread, and I did a running stitch throughout. I liked using this lace for this specific project because in all honesty, it's not soft. It's kind of stiff, and sometimes having a stiff lace like this will actually make it look pretty when you want it to be gathered like with a running stitch, because I wanted it to be fluffy. And if I were to do that with something very soft such as this one, see, I would have something that would be more like laying down and flimsy, and I don't want that. So anytime you're going to be using something like this, the best thing to get is really a stiffer lace, unless you have a fabric stiffener and you spray it on and use it that way. But you can see that the bag is completely functional, so how adorable is that? That when you pull the tie, you have this really cute little bag, and it works nicely, see? You open it. Anything can fit in there. Actually, let's just, play it by ear and take a look. I have my reading glasses there, and I can simply use this as, in my car if I want to, or, I'm not saying I'm using this specific one, but I'm just telling you that if you want to go ahead and alter some of those bags, here's a great example on making one very girly like and just so sweet and pretty. And actually, if I wanted to, I could probably squeeze the book inside here, which that was really what I was trying to do. But because I have a lot going on with the flowers, I didn't want to squash them, and it's really not necessary for me to go ahead and do that. So this was a really, really cute project. The baby shoes was something totally unexpected. In fact, it's so funny that years ago, my parents saved our shoes, my sister's shoes, and my brother's shoes. And I used to wear bells on my shoes when I was a little baby girl. I don't know, I guess I just like the sound of the bells. And I have my baby shoes, and they're the ones, I think, with the hardwood bottom, and they're really dirty, and they're very old. They're just as old as I am, but I'm not that old. But their shoes are old, and I have them, and I'm not going to alter them. I have them away in a box in the closet somewhere. And, but when I saw these at the flea market, I was like, you know what, that would be really cute to go ahead and alter the shoe. And you can see here, I don't want to get too close, but you can see that I painted it. You could see that the shoe was white. Even if I try to pull, which I don't want to pull anything off, it's just so adorable. But the shoe is definitely painted. And I can't say that they're not wearable, because they very well may be able to be worn. But I don't know how comfortable it would be because it's painted, even though it feels pretty soft. But I would not recommend to anyone. And this baby that wore the shoe, this says size 20 at the bottom, had to be a very tiny little baby, and she didn't even walk yet, so the bottom is generally clean, and that was the color shoe. So this was really kind of fun to make, and we'll see. I don't know if I'm actually going to give that off yet. I have nothing in my craft room that shows anything like with a baby craft. But I may just give off the shoes, and the other two, I think I may just keep the bag for myself and give this little book to my mommy. And she's always needing to write stuff down. That'll be great for her to keep in her bag. So we'll see what happens with that. But this was really fun to make. So if you go on over to Shabby is Chic on Facebook, the links will be in the drop-down box below here. And you'll be able to go on over and get some of this beautiful, beautiful fabric for yourself, or if you want to go ahead and get some of these really, really pretty fabric flowers, you can simply add a pin to the bottom of these and put them on your jean jacket or on your purse, like a nice little summer bag, a cotton bag. And this was a handmade flower that I made. There's so many tutorials on all kinds of flowers out there, but I keep saying to you guys, and I have to apologize that I'm doing tutorials. It's just sometimes I don't have the time, and I don't know, there's really no excuse. It's just I never really have the time, and that's the God's honest truth. But getting back to the project, those are all the items that I use. This really pretty pink lace, the muslin bag, this here lace. I will try to see if I can get names of everything and put them in the drop down box for you. And this other pink lace here, which is also up here. I do believe that Amy has the pink seam binding in her store, so you can go ahead and check that out. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this project. I know it was a little bit outside of the box than the norm, because I'm always doing a lot of the same, not the same project all the time, but it's always the same theme, and I wanted to start breaking away from some of the things that many of us are doing. And even though I love seeing everyone else's projects, my room is so completely full that I thought I would try to, think up a couple of other new things, something new and fresh, and break away from the usual. So thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to stay tuned to my channel for my crafting with Suzie, watch me craft, and for my design team projects, and just general YouTube craftiness. So thanks again for stopping by. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.